far as the speaker is concerned, it's a constitutional authority.
No, but see what he has done. He has appointed the whip. He has appointed the leader of the house. What kind of confidence can we have in this constitutional authority?
Either you debunk the authority of the speaker, or you say
I said that
irrespective
on day one.
I think that it poses a very big problem for the court.
Yeah.
On the one hand, if the speaker is with you, you would say that it's a constitutional authority. What's wrong with the speaker? If you have some difficulty, you would.
So, Maharaj, what's happening here is, Maharaj, that the legislative party, a majority in the legislature of the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly, is treating itself as the political party and making orders for its own benefit. That's the constitutional issue that your lordships will have to decide.
But who represents the political party is
as I said, Maharaj, the two offices, Maharaj, that is the leader of the three offices, chief whip and whip, are appointed by the political party and conveyed to the speaker.
The chief whip
and the deputy whip.
The deputy whip.
So these are offices, Maharaj, that are bridge between the political party and the legislative
and then
party.
According to you, who determines who is the political party?
I'm sorry?
Who determines who is the political
There's no
party?
challenge here.
No, I mean, ultimately, who is entrusted with the authority to decide?
They have to have a split in the party first. Otherwise, how do you determine under the 10th schedule?
If there is a contest on who represents the political party, who will decide?
There's no contest, Maharaj. This is not their case. Maharaj, please appreciate. Till all this is happening, it is not their case that there is a political split in the political party. It is nobody's case.
No, but
They say they are the Shiv Sena.
facts here, but who will then have the authority to decide who is the political party?
That's right. Now you go, what you do is call a meeting of the political party. Supposing, Maharaj, let's forget about the 10th schedule. Let's not talk of the 10th schedule. Maharaj, I happen to be a faction in the party, and I say, look, actually the majority of the party is with me. So I can requisition a meeting of the party. Forget the 10th schedule. And Maharaj, after a requisition meeting in the party, Maharaj, I take over. So I am the party. By majority, I take over.
Against you.
And there's nothing to do with the 10th schedule. I'm not talking about the 10th. I'm sorry.
Test as they have said.
Sorry.
The test in Sibbal Calling.
Test in Sibbal Calling is nothing to do with this issue, Maharaj. That's not. I'm not talking of the 10th schedule now. I'm talking generally how a faction in a party can take over the party. Forget the 10th schedule. Now let's forget that 1985 10th schedule was not there. Then also this question would arise. But this question would arise only if there is a division in the legislative party. Dehors the 10th schedule. I hope, Maharaj, I made myself clear. Dehors the 10th schedule, this question can arise. That people in the legislative party can say that, look, no, we don't agree with your policies. Let's call a meeting of the party. Right? In that meeting, Maharaj, they feel that they are a faction who are entitled, Maharaj, to the symbol of the party. They want to set up a separate party. Right? They can go and say that we, the legislators, along with the organizational structure, are the party, separate party. Give us the symbol. We are the majority. Forget the 10th schedule. It can happen even out, but that can only happen if there's a split in the legislative party. Correct, Maharaj? It can only happen then. Otherwise, it's a normal procedure of taking over the presidentship of the party. Sibbal Calling, the same thing happened. There was a split in the legislative party and the political party. And in Sibbal Calling, they said that, look, as far as the organizational structure is concerned, on both issues, they are entitled to, the other side is entitled to the symbol. That's fine, no issue. Here, Maharaj, this split should have happened on the 21st of June. There's nobody's case in the political party. Why? Because para 15 of the 10th schedule says that if there are two factions, and the symbols order says, if there are two factions resulting from a split in the political party, then the question of symbol will arise. Right, Maharaj? It is nobody's case here. Nobody has, they say they are the Shiv Sena. Why? Because they are 40. So how does a majority on the legislative assembly become the Shiv Sena? Then, Malaj, if in the Congress in Goa, if majority of the Congress legislators join, as they do, Malaj, I have been seeing this happen again and again, Malaj, then they are the Congress. You can say they are the Congress. But how can they say that? Therefore, Malaj, this has grave consequences on the polity of this country. Because now the legislative party seems to believe that it can, under the 10th schedule, proclaim itself to be the political party and throw out office bearers who are appointed by the political party in the House. Constitutionally, that cannot be countenanced. Who appoints the leader of the House? It says, in exercise of my power as chairperson of the Congress Parliamentary Party, I hereby make the following appointment to the Rajya Sabha. Shri Kharge, MP leader of the Congress Party, against the vacancy of Ghulam Nabi Azad, whose term in the Rajya Sabha has come to an end on 15th February. This is a letter written by the Congress UPA chairperson to the Speaker, to the chairman of the Congress or the Rajya Sabha. That's how Malaj people are appointed. Can Malaj, Mr. Kharge on his own, or could he have said that I am the leader? I have so many MPs, so I am the leader? The same thing with the whip. Now, Malaj 57. The newly elected speaker, in an illegal, arbitrary, and blatant display of malafide. And how do you, Malaj, allow this speaker to decide this matter when he's been doing these things? Your Lordship, Malaj, has great, what should I say, confidence in the constitutional office of the speaker, Malaj. Great confidence. But do they discharge this confidence?
But that confidence you also have when you say that that speaker had to decide a disqualification petition.
Yes, correct,
And
Malaj.
that is not
It will be
dependent
subject
on
to challenge. It's subject to challenge.
Right, and that is not dependent on who is the speaker, Mr. Sibbal.
No, Malaj, I'm sorry. That speaker did not do anything like this, Malaj. You have to now see, kindly see, look what is happening.
But the constitutional authority of the speaker to decide is not based on who the speaker is, on what decisions he is taking.
Can ever a finding of bias be reached by a constitutional court? You lordships will say no. Let's put it another constitutional issue. If a constitutional authority has so conducted itself that a constitutional court comes to the conclusion that such a constitutional authority cannot discharge the functions that it is discharging because of its open bias, your lordships will say no, we let them decide. I don't know, Malaj. I don't have the answer for it.
No, not necessarily. In Rameshwar Prasad, with respect to a governor,
Governor, yes.
judgment of this court that if there is an allegation of bias, then government has to come and defend it.
Malaj, that's exactly.
It's possible, not that the court will naturally do it, but then we all are proceeding on the premise that, in fact, your argument had been in the first part also, that so far as the speaker is concerned, it's a constitutional authority.
No, but see what he has done. He has appointed the whip. He has appointed the leader of the house. What kind of confidence can we have in this constitutional authority? Who, without reference to the political party, is doing all this? Do you think he can ever decide in my favor? There is no way.
Then you have the first speaker who, in defiance of the legislative rules, gives 2 days notice.
I'm sorry. No, that is.
In defiance of the legislative rules, gives 2 days notice. What is also
That your lordship.
Yeah, all this is the way everybody is behaving.
And that's correct. So what do we do, Malaj? Your lordship will then have to.
There are two options. Either you debunk the authority of the speaker, or you say,
I said that on day one, Malaj.
Alternately, irrespective of what lesser mortals decide, ultimately, in a democracy, you value the office or the institution.
Then that 27th order should not.
If we say.
Correct, then the 27th order should not have been passed.
Denigrating constitutional officers, including the office of a speaker.
Well, they are
then there's
denigrating
no end.
themselves.
So it's a.
They are denigrating themselves. We are not denigrating
No,
anybody.
Mr. Sibbal, there's some problem.
It's a race to the bottom then.
Yes, we have. We have to start Mullad's what to do. But the problem is, Mullad, that problem is very serious. And therefore,
they are the legislators, parliamentarians who have decided upon the speaker to be the tribunal for 10th schedule. It is parliamentarians' decision.
I agree.
10th
But
schedule. So therefore, court is only interpreting that.
fine, Mullad. Then we must go back to
This doesn't
27th.
take us anywhere, Mr. Sibbal. The difficulty, repeatedly you say, at one stage, it poses a very big problem for the court.
Yeah.
On the one hand, if the speaker is with you, you would say that it's a constitutional authority. What's wrong with the speaker? If you have some difficulty, you would say, you means not you. You would say, look at the way the speakers have behaved. So therefore, for us, as long as the Constitution bench judgment is there, we will go by the fact
I
that
agree.
the speaker is the tribunal and he is the presiding officer for 10th schedule.
Correct.
And
Correct,
we will not go back the decision. That's the final decision so far as we are concerned.
Fine. That's, I mean, I don't,
proceed.
I don't want to, Mullad, say anything contrary to that, except that on that logic, the 27th order could not have been passed.
You will argue that.
Then we come back to that, Mullad. Then that's what led to where we are today.
And again, it's merely because one or two speakers have gone astray, would the court be inclined to debunk the whole procedure as laid down and the 10th schedule?
No,
by
no,
saying-
Mullad, I mean, my intention is not that. I'm just, Mullad, telling your lordships what has been happening.
So it's a conundrum.
Yes, it's a conundrum. It's a constitutional conundrum, but your lordships will one day have to sort it out.
Sorry for another question. Every time this question is raised before the court, I would want to ask you, how many times did the parliamentarians raise this question in the parliament saying that let us actually amend the constitution, change the speaker? How many times the discussion took place in the parliament to review the conduct of the speaker?
Well,
Why is that question raised before the court, which is not the forum for consideration? How many times the parties have sat down together and decided that this is not working? Let us go back.
Once the Coheto Holohan was rendered, Mullad, what would Parliament would say?
Why it only upheld the 10th schedule. It is you are making the 10th schedule.
No, Mullad, the political party in power, wherever it is, wants to use the office of the speaker to do what they are doing. The political party would never, in power, would never like to change it.
This will take us nowhere, Mr. Sibbal, frankly, and this will, unless there's an amendment to the constitution, unless there is a reference, a direct challenge. And so
Justice Sabharwal
we
said
have
it.
to proceed on that premise.
Out of 55, 38 are with them in the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly, right, Mullad? And in the Lok Sabha, out of 18, they allege that 13 are with them, but they have filed affidavits of 12. The Legislative Council, Mullad, in Maharashtra, all of them are with us. All 12 are with us.
12 out of 12.
All of them are with us. And in the Rajya Sabha, 3 out of 3 are with us. And in Lok Sabha, 6 are with us, according to us.
Mr. Sibbal, will you repeat the numbers?
Yes. In the Legislative Council in Maharashtra, all 12 are with us.
1 second.
All 12 are with us. But in the Legislative Assembly, Mullad, 38 are with them. You say 40, but they have affidavit of 38. It's all right. I mean, you can say 40. I don't mind. I mean, yeah, it's all right. 40 and 15 with us. Doesn't matter. In the Rajya Sabha, all 3 are with us. And in the Lok Sabha, whereas out of 18, they are 19. 13 are with them and 6 are with us. So it's not as if, Malaj, it is some overwhelming majority with them. And in the organizational structure, and Malaj, what
about the Rajya Sabha? you said?
Lok Sabha
Oh, three Rajya Sabha are all with us.
and Lok Sabha.
Legislative, Lok Sabha, Malaj, 6 are with us out of 19. Yeah, out of 18. So in 2 houses, they have majority. In 2 houses, we have majority. Be that as it may, Malaj, the issue is ultimately not that. Just so that your lordship knows, Malaj. In the organizational structure, the other surprising thing is, Malaj, we both argued on the Constitution of 2018.
What is the organization?
On
What
the
is the
Prathinidhi
structure of
Sabha,
organization of
there is a
Commission?
Prathinidhi Sabha and there is the Karyakarani, which is the executive, largest executive body, 13 members of the Karyakarani, and
General
about
bodies.
260 odd members of the Prathinidhi Sabha, which will come to later. The point that I'm making is that we both relied upon the 2018 Constitution, but the Commission in its order, without letting us know during the argument, said that the 2018 Constitution is not recorded in the Election Commission. Never put it to us, never told us, not their argument, not my argument. Both argued on the 2018 Constitution, and the Commission, without ever informing us, says that Constitution is not on our record. Anyway, but be that as it may. Anyway, so even though we have majority in the organization, they say we will not consider that. So they don't consider the organization, they consider this majority of those who are, according to us, disqualified, and give them the symbol.